Hey guys, this is a follow-up review on JD2 The Beast. So far I like this thing. Does just fine. It's been about 6 months of use. You can see I changed out the base on it. The steel disc didn't work well, so I just did a 3Y Y shape. But also, this leg is a little longer, so you can actually put your foot on it, just to help if stability-wise. This screw right here, this actually clamps on to the bearings. So yeah, that's just a bearing adapter bolt. Break it loose and you could always adjust your bearing in and out, but what we had to do was actually loosen it up and slide the bearing back so the hole saw could come flush up against the block. Now what I do have a problem with is, it's not a big problem, but it's a minor detail, is when we go to adjust this thing up or down, it's quite difficult to get it perfectly centered. Just because once you break it loose, it wants to either drop one way or the other, and it's always very difficult to try to get it perfectly centered. But once you get it, I don't change that very often to need that. I don't know. It's just, I don't know how many guys are really going to be changing it the offsets that often. So once you get it set, it's pretty much fine. But what I would love to have is like a leveling screw or something. You tighten up that would either help draw it or drop it, just to do a bit more precision. Obviously, there's not much. There's no room up here to do that, but maybe down here I could, adapt something just to help level that out. This nut, I would recommend upgrading that to a grade 8 or something. I don't know if it's grade 8 now, but this thing does get a lot of abuse because you got to torque the heck out of this single bolt just to get her to lock into place into your angle. We're gonna take this slow because I want you guys to get a detailed look at it. This is the bolt that actually holds the block. Once you loosen him up, the block does come free. The pin mechanism, very self-explanatory. Let's take a look at this. Let's loosen this guy up. I'll let you guys see the bearings. There we go. But yeah, move that block to where it's flush there, and that's it. I wanted to give you my gripes, what I like and don't like about the JD2 The Beast. So check it out. I got this whole pile of aluminum tubing. I don't have to notch all those, so don't think I got to do that. But I got to notch maybe like 32 of these things. Got my hole saw, got everything set, and then I was like, you know what? This is not as easy as I thought it would be. I bought this thing just because it was supposed to be universal, cope pipe, cope tubing, just because it's got this nice plating down here. But just aligning it's a real pain in the butt right now. What I was looking at right here was, they got these nice grooves. When I originally bought this thing, I actually thought a piece of tubing was supposed to line up in there, but this is 1.5 inch square tubing. That does not fit in there. So maybe JD2, if you guys are watching this, maybe you can make the improvements on the next model, generation 2 of the Beast. Make sure that we can actually use square tubing on the actual guides. So guys, oh, the other thing was, over here, I mentioned this before, but I figured I'd mention it again in this video. I would love to have an adjustment screw. Once you break this thing loose, this thing wants to drop. I mean, it's a lot of weight here, so it's a real pain in the butt to actually get this thing adjusted, do precision. Especially since I have to readjust it just so I could cope this square tubing. Now, if there was an adjustment screw on the bottom, that can be done. I was thinking about putting one on myself, but yeah, right now I just don't have time for it. I'm gonna have to try to figure out a jig or somehow to try to get this thing centered up to make multiple cuts at the same time. But guys, thank you very much for watching. If this was helpful, please give me a thumbs up and please subscribe. It really helps the channel. Thanks a lot.